defense. Okay, that's an old opening I used to use back in the 70s. I was kind of fond of it. I eventually gave it up for the Sicilian. Okay, so we're going to go for a feeding kiddo. Looks like he's going to adopt the practical approach. D4 should be coming. Okay, I could have always played C5, which wouldn't have been a bad move, because the Sicilian gives black better chances than against the Perk. That's why, anytime you have a chance to move your two center pawns safely on the first two moves, to, E4 and D4, or if it's black with E7, E5 and D5, it's always the best choice. That doesn't mean your opponent doesn't have activity. He does. Now here, this is just a simple system used. I could have played Bishop G4. Could have played Knight C6. That's just a simple positional system. Black doesn't take any necessary risks. Okay, so D5 seems to be probably the wrong choice. One of the reasons is we're not developing anything. Number two, it's opening up the diagonal for my bishop on G7. It's also giving up control of C5 and D5. So, what do I want to do here? Well, I could push C5, but I've lost the tempo with that pawn. One of my logic says if you're not sure what to do, develop a piece. So I will play Bishop G4, and if H3, I'll take it, Queen take, and I'll play Knight D7. Sometimes in some variations of this Perk defense, Black will trade off this bishop because for the knight, because it just becomes kind of a bad piece. It's not easy to get it developed. So if he takes on C6, it develops my knight to C6. Okay, that's one idea. Okay, so he did play H3. Now I am developing his queen here, but I'm getting my pieces out. So development's about even. He can decide if I have a threat of knight E5 or not. Some people that get the two bishops, they'll want to keep them, but this light square bishop isn't all that powerful here. It's hemmed in behind a lot of pawns. So, the game is essentially even. Okay, so he played bishop B4, or bishop F4. That's a good move. So, but it unprotects B2. So, Queen B6. Give him a little pressure on B2. It safeguards C6 a little bit. I saw visions of some lines where that H1 A8 diagonal opens up and this queen could be attacking my pawn on C6. Like I said, the game seems to be about even. Okay, they will have plenty of time. We play 15-10, you have an average of about 30 seconds a move. Okay, so he played B3. That could be dangerous because of that diagonal opening up. So, if if I move my knight anywhere, it pins his bishop. Now, if I play knight h5, normally he would want to play bishop h2. But if he does that, then I play queen b4. I'm hitting his knight twice, and he can't protect it again. So on knight h5, he would have to play probably bishop d2. Then I can play knight e5. At least get the bishop pair back. I'm going to do this. Okay, so knight h5. So he's got to be careful here. So you have an average of about 30 seconds to move. You know, I mean, you don't want to sit there and take 30 seconds every move, but you do want to take your time, and you'll have enough time. You'll reach move 40. Plenty of time on your clock. Okay, so good. He found bishop d2. So but now, let's see. I'll go ahead with knight e5. Invite him to play queen e2. Now, queen e2 is a blunder because I would then have knight g3 relying on the pin. So he almost needs to play queen. I'm going to double up his pawns, I think. Let's see. You know, this it's one of the drawbacks with these rook pawn pushes, although he used it to drive my bishop out. It weakens the g3 square. Yeah, so b3 was probably, yeah, he missed the trick. Okay, so now knight g3. And he unfortunately loses the exchange. So he can't counterattack my queen because I take his queen with check. Play queen e3, but I trade queens and pick up the rook. Now the f pawn is still pinned, so there's no hurry. I want this diagonal open. Let's see. I want to take that bishop in on c4. Bishop takes. Knight takes. If he saves his rook, he's running into trouble. I'll take his bishop and work on him. Let's see. So knight takes c4. I want that diagonal open again. There's no hurry to take the rook on f1. Now I see you could play knight a4 here. But then I have, yeah, maybe you could play knight a4. Here's one drawback of playing too quick. Okay, so now I take it on f1. Otherwise, the rook moves to e1. Okay, so I got the exchange ahead. Let's see. What I need are files for my rooks. So he doesn't have a light square bishop anymore, so I'll play f5. I have 8 pawns on the board, so I have no open files for my rooks. say template. Now I'm gonna play safe. The queen looks aggressive on c5 or d4 or even a4 or a5, but I'm gonna put it on c7. Just keep things safe. The pawn on c6 keeps the queen safe from the knight. So, okay, so now f3. Now he can't, its pawn is pinned, so it's after bringing his knight into d4 or e4. Let's see. Pawn takes, knight takes. Yeah, I'll take it. And then knight takes. I can. His knight is not guarding d5 anymore, so knight takes. I can play pawn takes. It takes back. The c file is open. I can take on c2 and hit that bishop and the knight. Okay, so now pawn takes. You could play knight g5 at some point, ready to go to e6. But I'm not too concerned with that. I have queen takes c4. Okay, so now queen takes c2. I'm saving this check, bishop d4. So I'm not really attacking his bishop. Well, really, I was thinking I was attacking the bishop and the knight, but the knight is protected by his f-pawn, and the bishop is protected by his knight. And his knight is entrenched there, so he does have time to play rook takes b2 or b7. He didn't. Okay, so here's a case. Do I want the pawn or not? One of my objectives that I try to say is when you're ahead material, in this case the exchange, play for checkmate. Because if you get a checkmate, the game's over. And then often you can use your extra material to win more material. Of course, if you trade down into the end game, you win. I have I have 6 pawns. He has 5. I'm up the exchange on a pawn. So if I trade queens and his rook and a bishop, it'll be a mop up. But it's that's simplistic chess. It's easier said than done. So I have some open files, but let's see. So his knight is nicely posted, but the most aggressive square is g5. I have to make sure he doesn't find a way to mate, although it's going to take a while. If I take the pawn, I'm on another pawn too. So, and he wouldn't really have another discovery. So, normally I say don't grab pawns, but here it's playable, and it does give me 2 connected pass pawns. So, winning material is superior to trading, and a checkmating attack is superior to winning material. So, the first, it's not that easy to negotiate a checkmate in this position. There was dark squares a weak around his king, but, I really don't have a direct mating attack. So, here my threat is to take another pawn and then just start shoving my A pawn up the board. And, that could win more material too. Okay, so white to play. Yes. No, if white could play 4 moves in a row, he'd get it, or 3 moves in a row. He'd get his knight to g5, his queen to h4, and mate. Okay, so now he's guarding his pawn and attacking a pawn. So that makes sense. I'll just play safety first and hold the pawn. Now, if his knight on e4 is, or let me rephrase that, the pawn on f3 is protecting the knight on e4, but the pawn on f3 is defensively pinned, so I might have some kind of a trick where my queen can take the knight and then liquidate down to a winning endgame. Bishop and 2 pawns versus the bishop. But you try to trade. Okay, took the c file, but I'm not too worried about the c file because okay, go down to c7. Let's see. I could just take his d pawn. He's unprotected. We got queen a5 to keep his rook out of c2, c7, but he takes d5. And this could liquidate easily. Okay, rook c7. That look like queen takes e4, pawn takes, rook takes, check, king takes, push the pawn to a5, and that pawn is running. So rook c7 is his most aggressive move. That's what he played. So queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes, king takes, pawn a5, rook takes b7, pawn a4. He's almost losing a piece. So I'll just play for liquidation here. And he got his exchange back, but he's still down 3 pawns. And he can collect a couple of them. But he's going to end up having to give up that bishop for the pawn. Rook takes b7, a4, rook takes e7, a3. And he may not be able to give up his bishop for it. He'll have to give up the bishop first. Okay, so here I'm going to take this outpost here to shut his bishop off. I don't want him taking my d6 pawn. He can take on b7. I still push to a4. Okay, so I'm only a pawn ahead, but the pawn is dangerous. Now, I cover b3 and b2 with my pawn and my rook. I mean, my pawn and my bishop. And if he goes to b1, I just push to a3, and he can't stop me. So here's a case of just giving back material to reach a winning position. Okay. Black, White has a tough time here. And here it goes, and he can't stop it. The pawn is just running. Okay, so this one's about over. He has to give up his rook for the new queen. And rook b1, a2. Rook to d1. I could probably play rook to b8. The idea of sticking the rook on b1 and keep the queen. So you can't stop it from queening. You can play bishop b2 and trade bishops, but now he's going to also lose his rook. Because that's a fork. So it should be cleanup time here. Okay, queen takes. Now we try to get him a mating net, which shouldn't be too difficult. Okay. So first step, let's take some squares from him. Okay, now bring the rook into the game. And that should be pretty routine here. Maybe d4 was quicker. Okay, now it's mate one. It's inevitable. He couldn't help it. He couldn't help it. Okay, then we want to do a rematch. Let's play again. Start new video. Good game. Okay, we do this board, yes. Okay, so now